This week, New South Wales Ambulance came into contact with its 2,500th COVID patient from this lockdown alone. These are extraordinary numbers. 450 patients alone yesterday were for COVID or suspected COVID. This is bringing a very significant load on the ambulance service right across New South Wales. But before I begin, I really just wanted to acknowledge the terrific work that our paramedics are doing out there every single day. Our paramedics, our doctors, our nurses, and particularly our control centre staff who take the 000 calls under immense load. I really need to put this into perspective for you. Over the last 3 days, New South Wales Ambulance has experienced call demand to 000 equivalent of our busiest New Year's Eve. These are extraordinary times, and it places great pressure on our staff when we receive some calls that may not be medical emergencies. So I want to be really clear about this. Our 000 call operators have received calls to help take food to people's houses. 000 cannot help you with this. We have received calls for people to be driven to vaccination centres. 000 cannot help you with this. If you have a medical emergency, dial 000 and we will be there. But with the sorts of demand that we're experiencing at the moment, all of the plans that we've been putting into place for the last 18 months are now coming to fruition. It'd be really difficult for me to convey to you just what it's like to be a paramedic on the road at the moment. Our workforce is going from job to job to job without a break. They are virtually wrapped in plastic. They are doing their job without expecting anything in return. These fabulous experiences I hear from my colleagues every single day of terrific human interactions, of where they're caring for people in a most compassionate and decent way, despite the uncomfortableness and the genuine concern that they all have for the fact that they may potentially catch this virus for themselves. There've been a lot of activity across the New South Wales health system where ambulance has been engaging, particularly with the local health districts. It's a matter of record that there have been some really challenging delays at some emergency departments. I'm pleased to say that a lot of work has occurred during the last week as models of care have been changed within the hospitals to accommodate, and we've seen a significant improvement in the throughput of ambulance patients into these big hospitals. I think it's really important to make the point that, you know, these big hospitals like Westmead and Nepean and Liverpool, I mean, these are aircraft carriers with really, really complex models of care. And it is not simple to simply turn them on a dime and change the way that they do things, because every decision is about patient safety. And so while we have experienced delays, I do believe that every person, whether it be our paramedics or whether it be the doctors and nurses of the health system, have actually been working in our patients' best interest to try and keep them safe. And we're seeing good outcomes for that now. Importantly, I want to make this point again. 000 is there for medical emergencies. Anytime you need a medical emergency, you have a medical emergency, New South Wales Ambulance will respond to you. But what we know is last night was the second ever status 3 alert that New South Wales Ambulance has ever had. I need to convey that level of criticality to you. Status 3 means that we are seeing impacts in our ability to respond to the community. When we receive calls that do not require an ambulance immediately, it can have dire consequences. I have been advised this week that we had a 25-minute response to an 18-year-old cardiac arrest. This is devastating. Wherever possible, we need to be avoiding this. We are surging our crews. We've brought on more than 130 new paramedics that were planned from last year. We have another 60 about to hit the road on the 11th of September. We've got another 30 hit the road as of Monday. The government invested heavily in all of the additional ambulances that I asked for last year, and now we're actually rolling them out with 104 new intensive care ambulances, which we haven't had for decades in this state. The people are there. The infrastructure is there, the willingness of our workforce is there, but we do need some help from the community. If you ever want to say thank you to a paramedic, the best thing you can do is get vaccinated. Thank you.